I remember going to the gym at the age of 18 for the first time with the subscription that I bought myself, and I went there with no clue. I was intimidated, shy, and all I knew was to do bicep exercises. So for the next 1 hour, I just kept drilling and hitting that thing hard. The next day I wake up, I can't extend my arm fully like this because I just kept doing the same thing and I didn't know anything else. And if you can relate to that, I mean, I'm sure every single one of us has been through that phase. I was so intimidated by these gym bros and people who were already working out there. I would look at these machines and they would look so intimidating to me. Automatically start having these thoughts like, what if I start doing something? But the machine is intended for a totally different purpose, and everyone starts laughing at me and they make fun of me like, what a weird guy. The hell is he doing here? And I had this type of thoughts, and I wish I had a video like this explaining me the ways to overcome this anxiety. This video is about how to finally start going to the gym and take your first step. Point number 1, this is so crucial. So you have to realize this. Nobody cares. This is what stops all the people thinking that other people think about you, thinking that other people care. Nobody cares how you look or why you look like that. Everyone is there just to do their own thing. And hey, just because I'm talking about the subject matter does not mean I'm a pro. I'm an amateur at best. I've been on and off with this gym and fitness type of thing for the last couple of years, and so I do know some basics. I also know some other things good enough to realize that they don't matter that much. And therefore, from my mindset and from my view and perspective, what do? I get into the gym, I step inside, I lock in, I put my headphones on, and I just try to do my workout. As simple as that. So notice, I don't care about other people. Basically, I'm more concerned about my own body image than I am about you. What if people think I look weird? But that's the thing, nobody is perfect or perfectly normal there. You see people doing mad crazy stuff, and that's also kind of okay. Hell, if it works for you, I guess. But even the strangest thing can seem cool if you do it with confidence. I swear to God, like, there are people doing the strangest, weirdest exercises out there, right? But like, people don't really like, okay, you might have a look at that, like, huh, what a weird guy. But usually people don't really care, like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Okay, go back to my own thing. But I don't really feel like the part of the gym culture. And guess what? Neither do I. Let's be honest, most of them don't even want to be there. They just want to get it done, go back home, their personal lives, just continue with their days. I've been going to the gym consistently for some time. Then for the last year, I've been mostly doing calisthenics and exercises at home. And then now I'm going back. I get in there, get my thing done, go back home. Simple. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. We suffer more in thinking that people think about us or they care enough about us. And hell, even if you're doing something terribly wrong, most people don't really care. That is, unless you ask for help, which brings me to my next point. Ask for help. It is okay. It is okay to not know things. But what is not okay is to not know things and still do nothing about it. You hear how paradoxically that sounds? Like, okay, not knowing things, you think it's weird, you think you're weak or whatever, like you're stupid, you don't know stuff, you're dumb. Actual reality is you get in there and you can learn this type of things in 5 seconds, man. Like, you can ask, hey, how do I do this? I don't know this. It's okay. I admit, I accept that situation. But how do I do this? You can learn it in, like, realistically, even the workout programs or whatever, like gym type of stuff. You can learn those type of things in couple sessions, in 2-3 sessions, and you're done. Just nail the basic technique and you're good to go. Because guess what? There are experienced people. There are people who know more than you, but I'm afraid, what if they ignore me? Please, if you go there and ask like a human being, like a normal person, hey, I'm struggling with this thing. Can you guide me? Or can you tell me what to do? Anyone who you know who is at the gym had to start somewhere with zero expertise, zero knowledge, zero experience. It's way better to ask for guidance and advice than to come back home with some back pain. The world is full of resources. Those resources come in the form of money, time, energy, things, but also people. Use those people at the gym. Use people around you. Make them show you things. Make them show you how it works. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be the person who doesn't know things. But if you think about it, isn't it better to be a fast learner than to sit on the sidelines and not react to any situation? Because guess what? You're going to have situations when you don't know anything. You're going to have situations when you're thrown into some new environment and you'll have to adapt and ask questions and build your network. Number 3 is learn the basics. Unfortunately, people come up with anything to grab your attention. That's why you see tons of reels and shorts telling you this is the best exercise, or this is the best equipment for working out from home, etc, etc. This is optimal, this is science-based, this is not good for you. Like, there's so many things that you don't need, and there's so much noise that you just have to mute. But I'm here telling you that if you stick to the basics, you will nail 80 to 90% of this whole gym culture. You don't need no fancy exercises. Hell, I don't even know how all the machines work. The good part is that I don't need all of those machines. Me, as an amateur lifter who's been going to the gym for a couple of years, I do the most basic things and I use the most basic equipment. The secret is in the basics. In other words, you will need simple exercises that will hit many muscle groups at once. Even simpler words, do less, achieve more. Those exercises are called compound movements. They are accessible to everyone, and therefore I'm going to introduce you to the most basic exercises even the beginners can do. Number one is going to be pull-ups for back and arms. If pull-ups is too difficult for you, use a cable or chin-ups, something easier and something that can help you kickstart your journey with pull-ups. Number two is going to be squats or any other leg press. It doesn't have to be fancy squat rack with those barbells or anything on your back. It can be anything as simple as bodyweight squats, Bulgarian split squats, or pistol, like whatever you want to do. Something that makes you push your body off the ground with your legs, and something which is not too easy, otherwise you're not going to see any growth. Number three is going to be bench press or dumbbell press. I would personally suggest dumbbell press because it's a bit more, I would say, natural, because like bench press with this movement, what do you do in your life where you have to push like this? So I would suggest something a bit more natural, like incline dumbbell press. Number four is going to be lightweight deadlifts. Now, why I'm mentioning lightweight deadlifts is because there's a whole culture of heavy squatters and heavy deadlifters. You don't need to become one of those. Don't get me wrong, those exercises are amazing, but then there's a huge risk. You might injure yourself, especially if you don't know the technique when you're starting your journey. And last but not least, shoulder press. This is a bit more natural. Again, I told you, right? You don't really press anything horizontally in your life if you think about it. You press stuff vertically. So it helps you with functionality, with mobility, but also it just builds nice shoulders. That's it. You don't need nothing else. Those exercises that I listed will cover 80 to 90% of the whole gym thing that you need to know. Because by learning just the basics, you will free up tons of mental space and capacity for other things in your life, like private life, like hobbies, like your career, like your business, like your sports, like your this, like your that. Like you will think less about working out, because if you do heavy exercises and squats and complex stuff with Smith machine and squat rack, then you will have to think about this 1 day, 2 days before going to the gym. You'll have to like mentally prepare for that, and then you go to the gym, those equipments are not even free. They're hoarded by tons of other guys and you have to wait 1 hour. Like, do you really want that? Or would you rather just keep it simple? Last but not least is keep a log. I heard that strength training loves numbers, it loves accuracy. So it's very useful to write down things. Write down your weight, write down the amount of things that you lifted. You might even want to record yourself, not in an obnoxious way to make other people uncomfortable, but in a way to make yourself grow, to look at your footage and like, okay, I can improve here. But it's also a good memory log. You look at your progress, you look at your old footage, you can compare. At the same time, you don't have to become a data focused nerd, but you should know the basics of what you're doing, where you're going, and what your results look like. Because by seeing progress in your weight and in your strength, you are less likely to quit this thing. And the only way you can do that is if you like this whole working out experience. I'm not saying it should be all butterflies and fairy tales and unicorns, but it shouldn't suck. And how do you not make it suck? By seeing some progress, by getting more comfortable with it. If you understand that no one really cares about you and no one is there to judge you specifically, you're more likely to stick to a routine and see progress. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.